Okay, so we have our project set up and our app set up. Now it's time to actually create our first models. So when we created this job board app, we also got a models.py file. And so anytime you create an app, Django will automatically give you this models.py file, and they automatically import this models module like we had talked about in the slides. And we'll rely heavily on this models module to give us a lot of the functionality. But again, basically what we're going to be doing is creating Python classes. So a model is just a Python class, and a model also represents a table in the database. And if you look in your file structure, in your file tree, you should see this db.sqlite3 file. And locally, right now, whenever we create a Django project, it defaults to using an SQLite database, which is just called an embedded database because it's saved locally right here. It's embedded in the project. Typically, if you were going to use something like MySQL or PostgreSQL or some other kind of database, it would be running on a server. But Django makes it easy to switch out databases. So I just wanted to note that this right here is our database, this file. But Django makes it easy to plug and play kind of with different databases. But a model, a Python class that represents a table in the database is what a model is. And then the attributes on that model, on that Python class, are the fields in the table. So right now we're going to be making a job board. So let's create a model, a table to hold a job posting. So we probably want a job posting table, and then we want to store things like a title, description, maybe the company that's posting it, and the salary, something like this. So the first thing we're going to want to do is create a Python class. And then we can name this whatever we want the table to be named, so something descriptive, so job posting. And then we'll inherit from models.model, which is this class that gives us a lot of functionality. And then any attribute we add will be a field on the table. So we said we wanted a title. And we have to define what type of field this will be. And there's a lot of different types. If we type models dot, you can see there's char field. If you type text, there's text field. There's integers for storing numbers. There's booleans for storing true or false values. So we're going to use a char field here, char field. And you can pass in some parameters. Char fields need to have their max length specified. So we'll say max length. And for the title, we'll just say it's 100. Then we also want the description of the job. I can spell description equals. And so we, again, from this models module, with this time we'll use a text field so that we can have a longer string here for our description. Then we want to specify what company is posting this. So again, we'll use models dot, and this time again, we'll use a char field. This will be a shorter string, and we'll specify max length equals 100 characters. And then finally, we want a salary. And this time we'll store this in an integer field since it'll be a numerical value, and that doesn't need any arguments. So we can go ahead and save this. And great, now we've created our model. We have this job posting class, this job posting table, and each attribute is a field. So we'll have a title field, a description, a company, and a salary. And by default, we'll also have an ID field that starts at 1 and auto increments. But now we have to tell Django, let Django know that we want to actually create this table in the database and update this in the database itself, in this file in this case. And so there's two commands that we're always going to have to run whenever we're making changes to the database, to these models.py or any of our models. And that's make migrations and migrate. And make migrations essentially is instructions. It creates instructions telling Django how the database, the tables have changed. And then running migrate actually applies the above changes to the database. So make migrations, as we'll see, is a list of instructions on how the database changes. So if we updated this field, if we added a new field, it would say that that new field was added. And then when we ran migrate, it would apply that change to the database itself. So make migrations doesn't affect the database at all, and migrate does. So let's go ahead and see those in action. So if we open up the terminal, make sure your virtual environment's running. We write Python manage.py, since this is a manage.py command. Make migrations, all one word, just like that. Hit enter. And you can see that we have here, it created this file, 001 underscore initial, and it create model job posting. And now there should be a migrations folder in your app. And if you click it, you should see this 001 initial. That's right here. And all it is a set of instructions. So it's saying initial is true. So this is the first time it's getting instructions for this model. And then the operations to perform. So it creates this table job postings and then all of these fields. And here we can see the ID field. See? So it's just a set of instructions for Django. And then when we actually apply the next command, so Python manage.py migrate, it'll actually apply this migration file and these instructions. And we also see tons of other ones because there are some defaults that come with Django. But we can see here that it's applying job board 001 initial right here. So now our database is actually updated and we have this table and these fields in the database. Great. So in the next video, we're actually going to create some job postings and store them in the database. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video.